Hey, what are you doing up there? Oi, oi, come back here.
Name, Carolyn Morris. Age, 14. Cause of death, this guy right here.
I already told you I didn't kill her!
I found you with a dead body in a suitcase. How do you expect us to trust you?
If I didn't know that, I would say it's hard to believe that you killed someone,
But all the evidences are pointing at you, Jay. So I need you to follow protocols for once. My higher ups are watching outside.
Alright.
So tell me, who is this little girl to you?
She's my best friend's little sister.
And why did you visit her room?
I was visiting her and I brought her suitcase. Hello, Carol? Why is it so dark in here? I brought all your clothes, by the way. Oh, you're sleeping. Okay. No wonder you weren't replying to my messages. You were asleep. You didn't eat the pudding I gave you last night? Look, I know you're sad because of what happened, but you still have to eat. But when I reached the room, she was dead. Carol? No. No!
Why did you bring her dead body with you? If you're not going to talk, I'm going to keep that little silence as admittance that you killed her.
Hey, he's still our friend. Don't you think it's a bit too harsh?
You really think sympathy is going to get him to speak?
Boss has a point. We need him to tell us the truth. We can't just let him off easy. But how do we make him speak?
Hey Jay, you do realize that we're trying to help you, but we cannot do anything out of line with the higher ups watching us.
Help?
Fine, I'll go out and distract them. However, I'll be expecting results by then.
So, what happened?
It was a few days ago. My best friend had just passed away. I was attending his funeral. They said he died of electrocution. But his little sister kept claiming that her brother was killed. I thought she was in denial of her brother's death. But when I saw his body when he was buried, I noticed something weird.
Things like what?
Things like...
Are you serious? They literally made me make coffee for them as if they were busy people themselves. So guys, any progress? Okay then Jason, let's make a deal.
What do you propose?
I'll let you do whatever you want to her body if you tell me why.
Let me inspect her body first, then I'll tell you why.
Deal!
Deal.
There it is.
Pink lividity. I wasn't sure at first, but my hypothesis might be correct.
What do you mean?
Do you smell that?
Smell what?
I didn't know this was not at first, but it's faint. It's there.
It smells like bitter almond.
That's hydrogen cyanide. Only a small percentage of the population can smell hydrogen cyanide. It's used in oil refinery, electroplating, production of synthetic fibers and plastic. At room temperature, hydrogen cyanide is a poisonous gas. A small dose is enough to kill you in 10 minutes. Highly lethal.
Is that it? Poison?
Most likely, but the real question is if it was chronic poisoning or acute poisoning.
What? Poisoning?
Yeah, so chronic poisoning happens if non-lethal amounts of hazardous chemicals enter through the body progressively over a long period of time without causing death or symptoms. Acute poisoning happens if lethal amounts of hazardous chemicals enter the body enough to cause illness or death.
Why does the way of poisoning matter?
So it gives us confirmation on how she died and whether she was targeted years ago or just now, seeing that Thomas.
Who's Thomas?
Never mind, I'll run her body through a couple of tests to know more about how Carol died.
So what happened to Morris?
I first tested for the presence of hydrogen cyanide. I took blood samples and her plasma lactate levels were high. I performed a colorimetric test followed by a mass spectrometry. They tested positive for hydrogen cyanide. There were also traces of hydrogen cyanide in the nebulizer. Then I checked for the method hydrogen cyanide entered the body. There are 4 methods: ingestion, inhalation, skin contact, and injection. Knowing that hydrogen cyanide is present in the nebulizer, I hypothesized that Carol inhaled hydrogen cyanide. I checked for signs of irritation in the respiratory tract, and they were present. I took samples from the stomach and checked to see if Carol had ingested it, but hydrogen cyanide wasn't present. I also did other tests like solid phase microextraction and other methods like microdiffusion to calculate an estimate of the hydrogen cyanide in the body. I concluded that Carol inhaled hydrogen cyanide in lethal doses, which means that it was acute poisoning.
So the murderer ran hydrogen cyanide into her nebulizer.
All the evidence points towards it.
And how does this prove you didn't do it?
Why will I kill my own friend?
Best friend murders aren't new here, Jason. So tell me, fill in your end of the deal. Why did you bring her body in a suitcase with you?
I brought her body in a suitcase because I was afraid that the government would hide her body to cover up the murder. I was also a witness to something secret, so I decided to take her body to study later on secretly.
Isn't that a bit of a stretch?
Yeah, unless you can prove it, that is.
I can show you if you bring me his case file.
Me? You want me to fetch it?
You're the only one that has access to the archives.
This wasn't a part of the deal, Jay.
Aren't you the one always preaching for justice?
Fine. I'll take his file. Meet me back at the office.
I'm sorry for your loss.
We first met when I just got hired. He and I were the best of friends. We really trusted each other. He was a record clerk for the government, but one day he just started to act weird. There were several instances where he would look anxious for no reason at all. And he also once told me to be careful of the government because they were hiding something from us. I'm not really sure. Just dismissed him as nonsense and turned him down. Well, I didn't believe him, not until now. And he told me that he would go prove it.
And
Here's your file.
Who documented this?
I don't know. When I got the file, the name was already scratched off.
It says here his death was by execution. However, I believe that Thomas was also killed by the government.
Whoa, slow down there. Are you saying that the government killed both of them?
that would make sense because his case file is telling us that he died through electrocution.
But the marks were something that electrocution could not make.
And how do you plan on proving your claim?
Tomorrow, 6 p.m., Somerset Cemetery.
Wait, do you mean?
Are you thinking of digging him back up?
It is possible.
Are you crazy, woman?
No, and it's boss to you.
Alright, then it's settled.
Is this the burial site?
Yeah,
It's quite empty.
this place is privately owned by the Morris. They decided to bury Thomas here.
Rich people can't relate. Can you guys please hurry up?
Yeah.
It broke.
Easy for you to say.
Oh, I found something.
Well, would you look at that? Moment of truth. Open it up.
Never thought you'd be the first person I dig up. What?
Huh. Well, would you look at that?
It's empty.
Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor.
Wang Shang Funeral Parlor. I feel like I've heard of it, but I can't seem to put it in my mind. Sorry.
Really? Our only clue and you forgot?
You don't get to get mad at me when I give you permission to waste our time and dig up this empty grave.
Guys,
Stop it. We don't fight over petty things.
Wangshang Funeral Parlor is a government-owned facility.
What did you say?
Wangshang Funeral Parlor is owned by the government. If T's body could be anywhere, it would be with them. Let's go.
They said this is where he was reorganizing his files. Apparently they said he spilled water on the open wire, stepped on it and died of electrocution.
It seems odd that he got electrocuted, even though he's wearing shoes which are non-conductive.
Unless he slipped and a patch of skin got exposed, but we'll never know that.
there's bloodstains here.
Bloodstains? Let me have a look.
I agree with Tommy. There were no signs of fall injury on his body either.
This is bad.
What's that?
There's gunpowder.
Wouldn't the walls be a bit burnt if there's explosion happening here?
But if the explosion was small, it wouldn't hit the walls.
But if it was small, then it wouldn't kill him, right?
Jay, do you know where Morris's office is?
It's on the other side of the hallway. Just take the first step you see.
Because there. Hey, Connie.
Yeah?
Do you think Jason's theory was correct? Why did you think the government killed the Morrises?
Like what Jay said, they could have snooped around places they shouldn't.
There appears to be a lot of debris scattered around here, not to mention a little bit of ash remains. It also smells like smoke here.
Yeah, you're right.
This couldn't be done by simple electric shock. Things just don't add up here.
Do you remember that case we had a few months back? The victim had similar unique marks to someone's body.
Yeah, it does remind me of an old case that happened. Welcome back.
So, did you guys find anything?
Nothing much. How about you guys?
Well, help me figure something out.
Go on.
I believe that the government classification is inaccurate, as I believe an electric shock did not take place. Maybe an IED exploded in the vicinity.
An IED?
An improvised explosive device.
So what about the bloodstains Connie found?
This IED may have contained sharp objects resulting in the blood, as well as the explosion itself must have impacted his body, explaining the unique marks that appear on his body.
Can you repeat that? I'm sure not many of us understood what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't think I got you how.
Okay, give me a few days. I'll make a representation to explain what happened during that day.
So, are we done here?
Sure. We actually found something on Thomas's office.
I thought you said you didn't find much.
Wow, I'm so glad we're working together.
You're one to talk, Jason. I'm risking my job for this investigation to go on and you refuse to communicate.
Is that it? Pettiness? So childish. Yeah, I'm hiding some things from you. You wanna know why? It's because I didn't trust you. The government killed Thomas and Carolyn, and you're among them. Why should I trust you? All the higher-ups are involved in this.
You think I killed your friends?
Why are you hiding information from me then? If you really did it because you're petty, then truly, I am so disappointed in you.
What do you think it looked like from my perspective? If you come into our room with a red flag on your head and accuse the government of murder and start hiding things from me, how was I supposed to trust you either? Fine, I apologize. And I'd actually like to say that me and Connie actually found something under Morris's table.
So I found this MySQL book, which is basically the detailed explanation about the government's database, and I thought it's very concerning.
How is that concerning? I thought it's okay that he learned it because he works here. Don't look at me like that.
And how does it work?
SQL, or Structured Query Language, is a form of the database management system, and it's normally used by large organizations, including the government itself, to handle various data, from handling climate change to national security and even the people themselves.
However, SQL has its weak points and can be attacked by SQLI, or Structured Query Language injections. There are, if I'm not wrong, 3 main categories: in-band SQLI, out-of-band SQLI, and interferential SQLI.
Well, looking at the script right here, I can conclude that Thomas utilizes the time-based interferential SQL injections to determine whether the database is vulnerable towards unauthorized access.
Okay then, what is it about?
Time-based interferential SQLI requires an attacker to send a query to the database, and an attacker can infer whether the query outputs a true or false based on the responding time.
Malicious SQL query will then be validated, and then the command will be executed, which allows the hackers to access the database as if they are the administrators. Kind of like hacking the code.
It sounds complicated.
I think I can access this.
Access denied.
Hold on, Connie. Try the script.
Now I realize this is a Nmap network mapper cracker code. This will help us access the database. And since we know that the database is no longer secure and vulnerable, we are good to go.
Access granted.
I also found these articles under Key's desk. They might say something about what he's researching on.
Neo-Helios?
Yeah, there's a folder named New Helios, which I believe Steve was researching about it.
Is that the virus?
A man-made virus?
It's a lethal virus, actually. Okay, we're done here. I have a meeting in a few, so I'll meet you guys back at the office. Hello, Tommy. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I actually have no idea where I am, but I do know how to get back.
So, should we get started?
After looking around yesterday, it seems that something was suspicious about the classification, and in my opinion, I believe that there was an explosion that took place, not an electrocution.
If it was, Tommy, then the place would have been in pieces by now.
That's where you're missing an important information, boss. The size and shape of the container does impact the explosion.
Let's say the bomb was small enough to, not harm the building, but would it really do that much damage to kill him?
So that was what I was researching on. So this is a prototype of what happened. It's not really a good replica, but it's a small representation of what they may look like.
What's it filled with?
Potassium nitrate, sulfur, and charcoal.
So what actually happened in that room?
When the fuse is ignited, the flame will travel down the fuse until it reaches the gunpowder. This is caused by the build-up of energy in the reaction. This goes on until the container breaks, causing the energy by the pressure and the energy of the reaction to be released.
Whoa.
So it's not big enough to affect the whole room, but it's small enough to cause high damage.
Looking at the burnt marks on T's body and the blood stains Connie found, we can assume that the bomb was most likely placed behind the victim during the scene.
I checked the security camera, and we were at the office. There was no one with him when he entered, so how?
Thomas did mention he lost his ID not too long ago.
The small compartment will be perfect for the placement of the ID.
Tommy? 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 Hello? Tommy?
What's going on?
It doesn't seem to work.
Oh my god.
What happened?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean I don't know? I don't know. It just glitched out.
Hello?
Tommy!
Sorry I lagged.
I thought I got you. This is crazy. The government is making a new virus. What is this, a sci-fi movie?
Well, it does make sense with our population rapidly increasing, so...
How are you okay with that?
I never said I was okay with it, Tommy. I never did.
If this virus spreads, it's going to halve our population. It's basically genocide.
Is there anything that we can do to stop it?
Well, you can submit these files to the UC, but it's unlikely that they'll believe you. Moreover, read the email. Or the mail.
It's low but never zero.
Tommy is right. We have to try at least.
It's very risky. It's not that simple. If information gets leaked, the government can just simply release the virus and all the damage has been done. Nations would be too busy trying to maintain this virus, and proof will be deleted by then. Poof.
Then we'll do it ourselves.
Are you crazy? What are you even gonna do?
I like the sound of that.
I'm in.
I have all the access keys to Somerset's research facilities. If we get to the virus and destroy it ourselves, nothing spreads.
And what if your plan fails? What if you accidentally carry the virus along with you and spread it to someone else? What if you catch the virus?
I've worked with something more dangerous. This is nothing.
You do realize if your plan fails, the damage will be lethal and irreversible, right?
It's either something or nothing. I do not want to let someone's effort go to waste.
Alright, I guess I'm in.
So what's the plan?
You know, you and I can finally rest in peace now. It's a shame, really. If only you were a little bit discreet, you would still be here with us. You can forgive me, Morris. Goodbye.
Woke up on the right side of the bed. What's up with this Prince song inside my head? Hands up if you're down to get
Take
down.
everything off. Keren banget bang mukanya.
Clothes like I didn't care.
Looks scared.
To a cab, take me anywhere. I'm in if you're down
Frown.
to get down tonight. Always a good time.
Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. You say you don't know, you tell me don't lie. You work at a smile and you go for a ride. No.
I wake up at twilight.
It's gonna be alright. Even have to try. It's always a good time.
The suitcase drop. You were supposed to be I just fell. Oh, you're right. Just get wasted.
Freaked out, dropped my phone in the pool again. Checked out from my room, hit the But got down to get down tonight. It's always a good time.
Good morning and good night.
I wake up at twilight.
It's gonna be alright. Even have to try. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. We don't even have to try. It's always
Jason, ignore him.
Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
It's always a good time then.
It's always a good time.
Doesn't matter when. It's always a good time.
Bye, sir.
You know what you've done right.
Yes, boss.
You failed your job, Agent 117. You took over the job and said you handled it yourself. You said you prevent them from finding out.
My team was just too smart, I guess.
You will have to face the consequences of your actions.
Understood.
The virus will be released tomorrow due to the leak. Your punishment will be due by...
Okay. Yo, Jay, ready with our plan?
Ready as will ever be.
Perimeters are clear. Commence plan, Neo Helios.